Tonight, Ian Sinclair elected National Party leader. Stranded travellers blast the state government. And Desmond Haynes stars for the West Indies. Good evening, Queensland. Welcome to 7 National News. I'm Nev Roberts.
And I'm Janne Raynor. Good evening.
The introduction of Australia's Medicare system could mean the end of Queensland's free hospital scheme. State Premier Joe Bjelke-Petersen says unless the Queensland government gets an extra $21 million in Medicare funds, the scheme will face problems.
Mr Austin has been asked to set up get a firm to investigate the whole hospital system and to see what savings can be made and where and how and what the problems are.
This move by the Premier is his last attempt at keeping Queensland's free hospital scheme functioning. Mr Bjelke-Petersen hopes that the Health Minister can come up with some way of cutting state hospital operational costs without ending the scheme. 2 years ago, the state government was beginning to find it difficult to keep the system operating. When the Medicare scheme was announced, it had hoped to get a large slice of revenue from the federal government, but it didn't. Instead, Queensland got $21 million less than expected, and now the only hope of saving the system is left with Mr Austin and a last-minute plea to the Prime Minister.
I wrote again, I sent a telex to the Prime Minister again today, pointing out the seriousness of the situation, that services may have to be altered or shortened if we don't get our $21 million that's owing to us at the present time. And then, of course, the Commonwealth will be to blame.
Next week, Mr Austin will present his report on the situation to State Cabinet. But without some kind of miracle, it seems certain that Queensland's free hospital scheme will face severe damage, if not the axe. Rod Stephen, 7 National News.
The National Party closed ranks behind Ian Sinclair today and elected him as their new federal leader, despite the findings against him of the Cross Commission. And as Nick McCallum reports from Canberra, another New South Wales veteran politician, Ralph Hunt, was elected deputy leader.
Opposition Transport spokesman Stephen Lusher was the only one to stand against Ian Sinclair in the leadership poll. He said elements of the party thought it was healthy to have more than one candidate. Although no details of the poll have been released, it's believed Mr Sinclair won easily. Former Health and Transport Minister Ralph Hunt beat 4 other candidates for the deputy leadership. After the party meeting, Mr Sinclair faced a barrage of questions about the effect of the Cross report now he was the National Party leader.
I certainly am concerned at the statements in the Cross report and the colourful language that has been used in it. I will be replying to it in detail in the Parliament.
But Mr Sinclair, who entered Parliament in 1963 and was elevated to the ministry just 15 months later, has been the centre of many scandals. The most marked were in 1979, when he faced 12 charges of misappropriating funds but was later acquitted, and in 1980, when, as Primary Industry Minister, he was accused of turning a blind eye to the Australian Dairy Corporation selling skim milk at prices lower than the international standard.
Travellers who've been stranded for a week in North Queensland because of the recent heavy flooding today lashed out at the state government. They criticised advisory services which reported that road and rail links were clear when they weren't. And as Janet Gover reports, they claim they've had little government help since being trapped by the floods.
The last trouble spot is between Richmond and Julia Creek. As the waters drop, a road train that had been almost totally submerged has been revealed. It's bogged across the road, and if it can't be towed free, police may use a bulldozer to clear the road for an estimated 1,000 motorists stranded east of there. The first to go will be about 60 people camped at Richmond at the school and the church hall. Many of them are now in financial difficulty. Returning from holidays, they weren't carrying much cash. Most of that has gone to buy food during the uncomfortable, unscheduled stopover. Many fear they won't have enough to buy petrol to get home. It's the same on board the Inlander train. Home now for 45 people, half of them children, and 2 Doberman puppies. The rail line both north and south of here has been totally washed away in many places. The passengers now realise that this train isn't going anywhere for at least a fortnight, perhaps longer. And while they've got nothing but praise for the staff who've been looking after them during the past week, they feel a little different about the state government.
If we could get back to Townsville, we'd be happy then, because we could go to Townsville and fly from Townsville to Mount Isa. But we can't even get to Townsville and we can't even get out of here.
For the first 4 days in Richmond, the train travellers had to buy their meals. The department is now providing them free, but many people have spent too much money and couldn't afford to fly out when given the opportunity. Now they're hoping the department will provide a bus to Mount Isa. Local residents who've spent hundreds of dollars and many hours helping the travellers are also angry at the government's attitude.
Well, I feel if it had happened on the East Coast or somewhere like that, they'd have had help right straight away, but here it's been so hard for us.
Police today told the motorists there was a chance they'll be on their way tomorrow if they're prepared to take proper safety precautions. The sunsets here are breathtaking, and tonight's is especially beautiful to the travellers who now have some hope of watching the next sunset from their own homes. Janet Gover in Central Queensland for 7 National News.
Britain is still being battered by hurricane-force storms. Most of Scotland is closed by snow, and the storms are now sweeping through Northern Ireland. In the south of England, rescuers have been battling to get to 5 lighthouse keepers stranded on the Isle of Wight.
The men have been on the lighthouse now for 32 days. They've run out of fresh food and are now on emergency rations. The driving winds and heavy seas have thwarted repeated attempts to rescue the keepers, both by ship and by helicopter. In Scotland, snow has closed hundreds of roads. Snow ploughs working day and night managed to keep one lane of the main road to England open, but only for a short time. Trucks and cars were stranded overnight. Water supplies in some areas of the country have been cut. Northern Ireland is now taking the brunt of the bad weather. 15 schoolgirls were taken to hospital after this 80-year-old tree fell on their portable classroom. Many schools and roads have been closed. Some towns have been without electricity for 2 days. It's a measure of the severity of this weather that in Belfast, a 2.5-metre wall of snow defeated this snow plough, and later a snow blower. The 2 vehicles are now blocking the very road they were trying to clear. Lee Hatcher in London for 7 National News.
And next on 7 National News, bands at Brisbane Psychiatric Hospital and a cocktail drink especially for the Gold Coast.